everyone. Today I am going to give you an introduction about our IOTDM resources. We basically follow 1M2M rules. 1M2M, you can go to 1M2M website and create an account. It is free. Once you create the account, you can log in and then you can find the document here. Then we mostly use TS1 and 3, 4, 8 to 10. So TS1 is architecture that describes each resource and the relationship between each resources and the parent children stuff. And TS3 is a security solution. It also contains some information about access control policy. And TS4 is tells you more detail besides TS1. And I'm using TS9 to tell the HTTP stuff. So for example, if I send an HTTP request, then the status code, what's in the headers, something like that. So in our IOTDM, currently we support these resources. First, CSE base. This is like the root of each resource. It is the root of a tree, you can imagine. And the short name is CB. And you can find all the short name for each resource in TS4 as well as other attributes short name. They are also described in TS4. And the second one is application entity, AE, and the short name is AE. And AE is similar to CSE base. It is a place that can store other resources. And container is the most common resource. We can create another container inside one container, and we can have multiple layers. Content instance. This resource we store the most useful information or resource or information inside the content instance, and this is a child resource of container. We can only create content instance under a container. We cannot create content instance under AE or under other resource type. Then access control policy. This is a control resource. This resource is used to control like who can do what. So we will describe this resource later in another video. Subscription resource is work together with notification, and we will have a separate video talking about that. Group and node. Currently we support partly. We do not support fully of these two resources. So there are universal attributes. That means each resource will have these attributes. First one is resource ID. This is a unique name inside a CSE or inside a data store. We can use this ID to directly retrieve that resource. And resource name. Resource name, this is not unique. For example, we can have several resource name. Several resource have the same name. but as long as their resource ID is different, they are different. Parent ID, each resource except CSC will have a parent ID. This is a pointer to tell who who is a parent of this resource, and the parent ID is a resource ID of the parent resource. Then the expiration time. This is a time that when the resource is created, we will give expiration time. If the time is reached, then we will delete that resource automatically. When a resource is created without giving an expiration time, we will use its parent expiration time. If its parents does not have an expiration time, then basically we will give it a forever tag, then it will always exist. Creation time and last modified time. These two values are given by the system. The user cannot modify these two values themselves. Also, there are several common attributes. Basically, most of the resources will have these attributes. The first one is access control policy ID. This is a pointer to point to the access control policy. We will describe this, how these access control policy and access control policy ID, we will describe these two stuff, how they work together later in another video. Label. This is a array of string, and this is just like a tag to tell the resource. This resource is very useful in the future, that we might use this to search resource. And ontology ref, except CSE base, almost each other resource will have a ontology ref attribute. This is a reference to the ontology website.